In a world where noise often overpowers silence and distraction triumphs over focus, resides a profound tale of self-discovery. This enchanting narrative revolves around the power of solitude, the magic of inner peace, and the transformative journey within. It's a tale not of kings and queens, but of enlightened souls, of self-realized individuals who dared to tread the path less traveled, the path of introspection. But before narrating the story, I offer my obeisance to the infinite possibilities in you. Now, let's start this amazing journey. A guru had a very talkative disciple. He would always keep talking, discussing things here and there throughout the day. When he went for alms, he would bring a new story from every house and narrate it to the other disciples in the ashram. He would criticize one disciple in front of the other, engage in gossip, and try to portray himself as good in front of others. He would constantly praise himself and always try to prove himself as the most intelligent and superior disciple in front of the guru. He considered himself separate and superior from all the other disciples. He used to say that he was the son of a rich family. If he wanted, he could have lived a comfortable and luxurious life filled with conveniences, but he left all that and came here because he wanted to search for the truth, to know himself and to understand life. That is why his renunciation is the greatest. One day, the guru called all the disciples to the ashram and said, "You all have to take some resolution for the next month. This will strengthen your willpower and enhance your self-power. According to your own capabilities, you can take any resolution, and if anyone's resolution is broken before a month, they will go back to their old routine." All the disciples took resolutions according to their strength and informed the guru about their resolutions before leaving. However, the talkative disciple wanted to show himself as separate and superior to everyone else. Therefore, he went straight to the guru's hut and said, "I do not want to take any small resolutions, but I want to take a big and great resolution of my own. Please tell me, what resolution should I take?" Hearing this from the disciple, the guru smiled and said, "Will you be able to fulfill the resolution given by me? Will it be possible for you to fulfill it?" "No, it is not possible for you. Therefore you find a resolution yourself." The disciple said, "No, Gurudev, whatever resolution you give me, I will definitely fulfill it. Please tell me now." The guru said, "All right, then remain silent for the next month and do not utter a word. This is your resolution." The disciple said, "Gurudev, is this a resolution? This is very easy. I just have to remain silent for a month. Give me a big resolution that is worthy of my capabilities, which will pose a problem for me to fulfill." The guru said, "First, you fulfill this resolution and show me." The disciple agreed to the guru's words. He became silent at that moment and left the hut. It seemed very easy for him to remain silent. He spent one day somehow managing to remain silent. But from the second day, the burden of not speaking started to increase in his mind. On the third day, he started to feel heaviness, and on the fourth day, he felt a strange restlessness within him, because all the disciples around the ashram were talking to each other. The burden of not speaking began to weigh on his mind. On the fifth day, he started to feel a heaviness, and on the sixth day, a strange restlessness started to arise within him, as all the disciples in the ashram were talking to each other. He also wanted to express his opinion in front of them, but his determination was wavering. Therefore he spent the entire day only making facial expressions and gestures. In this way a few more days passed and he fell ill. His head was throbbing. He couldn't even eat or drink. He only wanted to speak. He went to the guru, sat in front of him and wrote, "Gurudev, I want to speak. I am unable to understand without speaking. I am suffocating. I am going crazy inside. What should I do?" After reading this, the guru smiled and said, "Resolutions are meant to be broken, but whoever fulfills their resolution, they can enhance their inner power. And whoever enhances their inner power, they move forward on the path of understanding and awakening. Taking a resolution was also in your hands, and breaking it is also in your hands. Many of your fellow disciples have broken their resolutions and returned to their old routines. If you are unable to do it, you can also go back to your old routine by breaking your resolution. But remember, if you can't hold on to this small resolution today, then how will you manage your entire remaining life? I have completely left the decision on this to you. The words of the Guru wounded the disciple's heart. Without saying anything, he returned from there and locked himself in his hut. He only came out of the hut for his essential tasks. He remained inside the hut all the other times. 15 days had passed, and the determination of almost all the disciples in the ashram had already been broken. But the wavering disciple's determination was still intact. Since taking the determination, he had not spoken a single word. The entire ashram was surprised at how a person who used to speak so much had become silent. After 15 days had passed, he went back to his guru and wrote, "Gurudev, I may be silent on the outside, but there are many voices inside me. There are many screams, cries, and complaints. I keep talking to myself inside. My mind keeps asking various questions. The more silent I am on the outside, the more noisy and chaotic I am on the inside. I am having doubts. Is my determination still intact?" The Guru said, "Yes, your determination is still intact, but as long as the voices of people continue to reach your ears, your mind will keep speaking because it has become a habit. Even though you may remain silent on the outside, you will continue to speak on the inside. You will have to distance yourself from these things and these voices." The disciple bows to the Guru and leaves from there, and as soon as morning comes, he leaves his hut and heads towards the jungle. Several days pass. The time for the determination also comes to an end, but he does not return from there. Everyone in the ashram feared that the wild animals may have eaten him. During this time, many efforts were made to find him, but he was nowhere to be found. All the fellow disciples accepted that the wild animals had made him their prey, but the Guru did not think so. One day, a disciple from the ashram came to the Guru and asked, "Gurudev, what could have happened to that wandering disciple? Could he have been killed by the animals?" The Guru said, "It is possible that animals have made him their prey, but there could be another reason for his not returning. Perhaps he has found what he was looking for." The disciple asked, "Guruji, is talking too much so harmful?" The Guru said, "One of the many sorrows in a person's life is that he can never remain silent. He always keeps saying something. It is because of our words that more than half of our sorrows are created. Instead of most of the arguments in the family, we just need to talk meaninglessly. None of us wants to remain silent. We just want to be heard by the person in front of us. Whatever is in our mind, we want to pour it into his mind. We want to make him understand that, look, you are wrong and I am right. But how far is this appropriate? Because the other person is also doing the same, and in this way they are accepting each other's twisted words. Then with time, they keep uncovering those layers of words and keep telling each other. This work of listening and speaking continues throughout life. However, in this misunderstanding, we waste our time, our life, our understanding, and most importantly, we can't find our inner self. Everything is in vain and wasted. Only a few people understand what we have lost in this madness, as they don't know when. Like they don't know when they will come, they also don't know when they will leave. So what is the solution if someone asks? The Guru said, "See your thoughts with complete awareness. This is the only way to solve all mental problems. Working with full awareness in the present brings miraculous changes in life." 3 months had passed since that wavering disciple had left the ashram, but there was no news of him. By now all the Guru brothers had given up hope of him returning, but one day he came back to the ashram. Upon seeing him, everyone was filled with astonishment and joy, but he was no longer the same as when he had left. He had returned as someone completely different. A remarkable transformation could be felt within him, There was an extraordinary serenity on his face and a great calmness in his eyes. As soon as he entered the ashram, all the Guru brothers surrounded him and started talking to him. He also began conversing with his Guru brothers. All those who spoke to him experienced that he was no longer as enthusiastic and talkative as before. Each word that came out of his mouth was very clear and gentle. After talking to the Guru brothers for a while, he went straight towards the Guru. He touched the Guru's feet and said, "Gurudev, am I still silent? Is my resolution still intact?" The Guru looked carefully into the disciple's eyes for a while and said, "Yes, you are still silent. Not a single word is coming out of your mouth and your resolution is still intact." The disciple said, "Gurudev, when I went from the ashram, I was silent outwardly, but there were many voices inside me. There were many questions in my mind, and they were not stopping, so I went deep into the forest, hoping to find peace there, and silence the chatter in my mind. But the more I went into solitude, the louder the voices inside me became. I started hearing old voices from within. Only then did I realize how wrong I was. When I used to criticize my family, friends, and Guru brothers, at that time I thought I was right. When I used to gossip about Guru brothers and make fun of them, I still thought that I was better than them and I was doing the right thing. But that day, for the first time, I felt how wrong I was speaking. These voices, these complaints continued within me for many days, but gradually one day, all these voices ceased within me. Now I am silent from within as well. In that dense forest, there was no one to speak from outside, and there was no voice left inside me. I understood the true meaning of silence for the first time that day. There was a lot of peace around me. Although there were still some sounds coming which used to come before as well, but I couldn't hear them before. But now I could clearly hear all those sounds. The sound of the wind blowing, the chirping of birds, the sound of water flowing, the sound of descending scales. I heard all these sounds for the first time with complete clarity. I'd never felt so much peace around me before. So to break this peace, I uttered words from my mouth for the first time. I shouted, "Oh God, what kind of peace is this? Why is everything so peaceful? What happened?" But even after shouting, that peace was not disturbed. Everything was as peaceful as before, both outside and inside. "Gurudev, I spoke to my fellow disciples. I spoke to you. I am speaking. I am walking. I am seeing everything. But I am completely alone inside. I am in silence, even in the crowd. Even then I am alone in solitude. When I want to make noise within myself, even then I am in solitude. Now everything seems visible. Everything seems audible." Guru said, "As long as we keep speaking outwardly, there will be unrest within. The day we turn inward, then even if something comes out of our mouth, we will remain peaceful. All the evils in the world mostly arise from our speaking, because we do not want to remain silent. It keeps happening. The lives of such people are filled with sorrows, as they always talk over each other. They never want to listen, understand, or learn to stay silent, because staying silent makes them feel small. The cause of all the world's conflicts is our speaking. Therefore, we should only speak as much as necessary, because speaking unnecessarily wastes energy, and it never allows us to turn inward because it pulls us outward. And what is there outside, apart from this world? But if we want to turn towards our inner world, then we should keep this attachment closed. That is why all the enlightened souls, the self-realized ones, have all run towards solitude, so that they do not have to speak too much, they do not have to listen too much. They stay in solitude and remain peaceful. That is how they can easily embark on the journey within. However, if someone wants to, even while living in this world, they can live in solitude, they can remain peaceful. But for that, they will have to save their energy, which they have been wasting in their futile words until now. Friends, the lesson of this story is that speaking in vain destroys energy and prevents us from returning to our inner journey, because it keeps us focused on the external world. Those who want to embark on an inner journey should keep their mouths shut. Thank you. If you liked this story, then please press the like button, hit subscribe button, and share the story with the needy one.